going on, guys? Anthony back with Metal Miners. Oh man, I got something good to show y'all this evening, man. I got a package in the mail. Man, I've just been so blessed lately. I got some guys sending me some stuff, man, and I appreciate it so much. This one's from Scott at No Solution. If you're not familiar with Scott's channel, I'll leave a link excuse me, in the description below. But Scott's just a great guy, man. He's got a much broader palette as far as his musical taste than I do. Always showing some blind buys. Just super guy. Couldn't ask for a better friend. Man, it's just great to get stuff, and I want to show you. I actually got it a couple weeks ago. He contacted me and asked me did I want a cassette, and I said sure, man, I'd love to have it. And when the box came, I knew there was more than one cassette in it. It was actually 2 cassettes and 4 CDs. So I want to show you all that stuff. I've been delaying it for a couple 3 weeks now, and it's overdue, so it's time to catch up. In the background, we're listening to Faith Extractor. Just killer stuff. This art here is by Jay Myers. The name of this one is Thaumogenesis, I think is how you say it. This one actually came out in 2022. Hell's Headbangers. If you're not familiar with Shed the Skin, it's just awesome stuff. Of course, you got Ash Thomas, who's in several bands out of the Cleveland, Ohio area. The guy that plays bass, I think he's actually, let's see here, let me pull it up, I don't want to tell y'all a lie. He's actually in Ringworm and Vanek. And then, of course, you got Kyle Severn playing the drums, who drums for Incantation. And then Mr. Matt there, let's see here, he's in Ringworm also, and Soulless, and plays live for Midnight. So some very talented guys doing the deal, man. Just superb stuff. If you get a chance to pick you up a copy of this, great stuff. I really enjoy it. I enjoy his stuff with Faith Extractor and a couple other bands that I'm less familiar with, but Shed the Skin is probably the one that I enjoy the most, him and Faith Extractor. But check this out if you have not. We'll be listening to that in the background as we go through this stuff that Scott sent me. Let me put this over here. Now, let's see here. In the box, of course, he throwing it in the floor already. Sent me a nice note, which I do appreciate. I always keep those. He sent me a stack of cards, man, of all Riddick art, man. I just love Mark Riddick art. Check that stuff out, man. Got some of these, but I'll put these in my collection of Riddick art cards, man. I'd love to buy some of his prints if they were available, which I'm sure they are. But this is actually the art for the album he sent me. That Fetid zombie stuff. But he sent me some stuff, man. I want to show it to you guys. Won't take a whole lot of y'all's time. I will tell you that I haven't listened to this stuff thoroughly. I did listen to it, a quick breeze through it. Most of it I was unfamiliar with and need to go back and listen to it some more. But I just wanted to get this done. I don't like to do unboxings because I can't wait to open the stuff when I get it. When I get it, I'm opening it up, man. I want to check it out. I want to play it. I want to listen to it. I want to look at it. I want to handle it. Man, I love to get gifts, and I can't stand to hold them for 2 or 3 weeks before I open them. So maybe it's a disappointment to some of you guys, but I just love to get them and open them up when I get them. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting a Christmas present and not opening it until St. Patrick's Day or something. You know, I can't do it. The first CD that was in the box was Plaguewielder. These guys are from Luxembourg. Never heard of these guys. That cover art there is by Flo. This is a full-length name, Chambers of Death, and Metal Archives has this listed as Atmospheric Doom Death, which is probably pretty well a good description of it. There's the guys, 4-piece. You get 5 tracks on here, almost 48 minutes of music. When I was doing some research on this, I found that the status is unknown. I don't know if these guys are still together, or Metal Archives doesn't either. Started in 2012, had an EP in 2013, then this full length in 2015, and nothing since. So if anybody knows what's going on with these guys, I'd love to know. There's the CD. This actually came out on a label called Horror, Pain, Gore, and Death back in 2015. I'm going to try to describe it to you as best I can. I actually did this video one time before and I had this playing in the background, but that crazy dog caused so much problems that I had to redo it. The opening track starts out with some anguish and scream vocals in a real low register, almost black metal style stuff, you know. Very interesting listen, very doomy, but not necessarily in the pace or the cadence, but more in the atmosphere. Has some piano parts in there, but I mean, this will hold your interest. This is some good stuff that I probably wouldn't have bought if I was left to do my own shopping, but stuff that I'm glad to get because I really enjoy this. If anybody's heard of these guys or know anything about them, I'd love to hear about it. Plaguewielder. That was the first CD in there, and the cassette that actually brought all this on was this Fetid Zombie cassette, and the name of this one, of course, is Transmutations. And if you're not familiar with Fetid Zombie, of course, this is Mark Riddick's band. This is actually a 2021 release on Morbid Vision Music. They did the cassette. There is that logo there. And if you like CD and vinyl, as I'm sure you guys do, Transcendent Obscurity will hook you up with that. There's Mark looking all ferocious. And of course, this is Mark Riddick art here. On this particular one, you get 6 tracks, about 35.5 minutes of music. And of course, if you're not familiar with these guys, Mark always has a host of guest guitarists, guest vocalists, guest musicians, period, that always brings a variety of sound to it. This is very well produced, very clean, well executed. This Fetid Zombie has actually been active since 2007, and this was their 7th full length, or Mark's 7th full length, however you want to say it. I counted 18 splits though on Metal Archive. I think 5 or 6 EPs, but killer stuff. If you haven't heard Fetid Zombie, go check it out. Good stuff, and of course, always got some good art, man. I appreciate that, Scott. That's the one that I knew about. Everything else was news to me. There was another cassette in that box, and this is Nighnacht. That's the way it's spelled right there, and the name of it's Murder Myself. This is a 2020 release on Pagan Fury Records. There is the label right there. This art here is by Warhead Art, which, if you're familiar with him, it jumps out as obviously his work. There's the inside there. Phoenix, Arizona / Cleveland, Ohio band. Comes on a black shell with some green writing on it. 4-piece, you get 7 tracks on here, about 15.5 minutes of music. It's a quick listen. Active since 2019, and this was the second of 3 EPs that these guys have out. If you're a fan of Nunslaughter, Don from Nunslaughter, does the vocals on here. As far as the music, it's muddy production. The music is like mid-paced death metal for the most part. You know, kind of like demo quality. It has that appeal to it, which I like. But the vocals on here, either you're going to love them or you're going to hate them. To me, it sounds like almost a strained yawn. You know, when you yawn and you try to talk at the same time, it's kind of how the vocals come off. I listened to it a couple times. It does kind of grow on you, but nothing like. I'm not the biggest Nunslaughter fan, mainly because I've just never listened to a whole lot of their stuff, but I have heard several of their releases in passing. I don't own any, but it doesn't sound like the vocals that he does on Nunslaughter releases, the ones that I've heard at any rate. But it's almost like a, I don't know the guy's name, but the guy on Sarith Ungol, I think is how you say it. You know how he's got that strange cadence and delivery. It's similar to that. I don't know how to explain it, but check it out. Check it out. I was glad to get it, though. I'm sure it'll grow on me. The next ones are CDs, 3 CDs, and I'll let you go. Let me get this out because I won't be able to see it. This is Left for Dead, and the name of it is Exit Humanity. Came out in 2013 on Nice to Eat You Records. I think this is the first release that I've ever had on Nice to Eat You Records. I see here it's also Severed's in there somehow or another, but it's real dark, you can't hardly see it. There's the track listing on the back. Matla Art did that art. It's kind of dark. I'll try to get it where you can see it. Cool stuff. The archives has them listed as death metal / grindcore. There's the guys there, 4-piece, 10 tracks, a little over 38 minutes of music. They show as being split up, active from 2009 to 2016. This was their debut and only full length, following a demo they had in 2010. Musically, it's approaching brutal death metal, as you can probably guess by that logo. The vocals are bordering pig squeals at times, and then it's got that, it goes from that to that scream that projects out. Great guitar tone. The bass pops to the front every now and then in a way that I like to hear. Insane drumming on here. The vocals, if you like that kind of vocal, you'll enjoy this. The vocals kind of hold me at bay just a little bit, but I need to try it again. But good stuff for the most part, musically anyway, and the vocals is just a matter of taste, as is everything in music, I guess. But would like to hear that demo, 2010 demo, and get a little better grip on these guys. But that is Left for Dead. A couple more CDs, and I'll let you guys go. Man, Scott went above and beyond, man. I just love getting stuff in the mail. This is Mountain Grave. This art is by Chris Wilhelm. The name of the album is Massive Structural Collapse, and this one is actually out on that label logo right there. That is Horror, Pain, Gore, and Death. Blackened death metal is what they're classified as, out of Indiana. Check that out. You get 8 tracks on here, 34 minutes of music. It's a 5-piece, no picture of the guys, but there is the credits, says who plays what. Showing split up. They were active from 2005 to 2021, and this was their 3rd and final full length. Of course, I said Metal Archives it's got them listed as blackened death metal, but I would say it's more thrashy death metal than blackened. I don't really get very much blackened in here at all. Surely thrashy in the riffing, barked out harsh vocals. It's got hints of progressive, slash technical death metal in there. They got some synthesizers sprinkled in. Faster than mid-pace for the most part. But like I say, I'm not hearing any black metal. Pretty good listen though. I really enjoyed this. I'd like to check out some of their earlier stuff for sure. And last but certainly not least, probably my favorite of the bunch. Let me pull this out here. This is Immortal Possession, and the name of the release is the Resurrectionist. This is a 2022 release on CDN Records. There's the track listing on the back. You see you get 9 tracks, a little over 40 minutes of music. These guys are a 4-piece. These are band photos right here. A couple shots of the guys. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, of course. Cover art is by a guy named Chuck Lavassier, I think is how you would say his last name. These guys started out in '89 and had a couple breaks and then reformed in 2020. There's the CD. And had a string of demos early on, like 91 they had one, 92 they had one, 94 and 95. And this was their debut full length after they reunited in 2020. And they put this one out in 2022. Deep guttural vocals that fall somewhere between Cannibal Corpse era Chris Barnes and maybe moving towards John McEntee on the low, deep end. Mid-pace for the most part. Excellent guitar work on here, especially in the solos. Song structures have a lot of tempo changes in there. They're subtle, but they're unpredictable, and it keeps everything moving. Really good stuff. Love that cover art. Killer stuff. And that is Immortal Possession. Check out that logo. There it is. And that is it. Like I said, if you haven't, he did put me in a Fetid zombie pin as well. I appreciate you, Scott. If you hadn't checked Scott out, check him out. Much more broad in his scope of music that he covers and listens to. A big Marillion fan. Big into just all kind of stuff. He's a wealth of knowledge. Always got thumbnails of hot chicks, you know. Kind of misleading. Every now and then he will review a movie, but always got something good. Always worth watching. Keeps a better schedule than I do. He's more frequent with his videos. I think he's got a live stream coming up, but check out Scott's channel if you will. No Solution. His name is Scott, and you will enjoy it. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for all that you do. See you guys.